This thing is way too awesome to not record and broadcast out to the entire rest of the world. So it's Red, White, and Blue Day. So July 4th is coming up. We're super pumped. Let's start welcoming some people aboard. Managers, if you can help me let people into the Zoom room, that'd be awesome. But I want to welcome some people aboard. Welcome, Mr. Kunik. Love having the Erie squad back on the Buffalo Syracuse team meetings. That's what it's all about. Welcome, Mr. Hudson. Welcome, Corinne. Welcome, Sui. Welcome. Oh, snap. My screen just changed. I got to recoup. Where'd it go? Okay. Welcome, Sui. Welcome, Emmeline. Welcome, Sean. Welcome, Emily. Welcome, Corinne. Welcome, Casey Glass. Welcome, Jasmine. Welcome, Ruth. Welcome, Mr. Yako. Welcome, Shantella. Welcome, Aiden. Welcome, Savvy. Welcome, Zoe. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome, Owen. Welcome, Hannah. Welcome, Amber. Welcome, Ashley. Welcome, Madison. So go ahead in the chat, hit me up with something good, okay? Some sort of hot news. What's happening either inside or outside of your vector world? What's something you're really excited about right now? Some hot news, something awesome. Hit me in the chat. Could be small, could be huge, whatever the heck it happens to be. Pool parties for the 4th. Absolutely. We love pool parties on the 4th of July and the 4th of July weekend. That's awesome. I also love grilling as well. So Savvy's first promo this week. Boom. First homemaker. Get it. We love that for sure. What else we got? Oh, snap. Emily's going on vacation. We love that. We definitely like vacays around here. Then we got Brian went to Morgan Wallen concert last weekend. Had tons of fun at the old Darien Lake. We definitely like that. Hannah, fireworks show in my backyard. That's definitely awesome, Hannah. We love that. Let's see. Casey just got a $4 raise at his other job. Awesome, but he also sells a ton of Cutco as well and just hit 40%. They're probably just paying you more so that you don't quit because you're making so much money here. So I think that's what their strategy happens to be. Also a really good strategy though, too. Amber's having a baby. Well, holy crap. Congratulations, Amber. That's awesome. So very cool. And then Ruth, fireworks. We definitely love the fireworks. Jasmine got a raise. Congratulations, Jasmine. Chantel, SC2 is coming up. Most people on this call have no idea what SC2 is, but hell to the yeah, we are super excited for SC2. Zoe, 4th of July parties, definitely awesome. Parties, it's all the same. Okay, we definitely love that. Ruth, family barbecue. Yeah, barbecues are the best. Sui, 4th of July party. Absolutely. Aiden, high school I graduated from, is marching in a parade next Saturday. It's allowing alumni to march with them. So that means you get to join, it sounds like. That's definitely sweet. That's cool, Aiden. Very cool. Amber, you're welcome. Emmeline, watched my high school's graduation live stream this past week. Back to full attendance. We definitely like that. A little full attendance stuff. Austin, getting to see some family this weekend for the 4th. We definitely like that. Mr. Kunik sold $6,000 to one old man and woman, hooked him up with a ton of free stuff to make it happen. Ultimate set, gave away $300 for free. Then he bought a cookware set and got the bundle discount and got the kitchen tools for free. Holy shnikes. Who would be really excited about like a $5,000 order, $6,000 order? Anyone? Oh, snap. Well, be it next Tuesday's thing because Case Kudik is going to be going over tons of tips on how to have huge orders, all that good stuff. We're also going to be talking about it today, though, as well, okay? I agree, Casey. SE2 is definitely going to be awesome. Sarah sold some super shears yesterday. We love the super shears. They're super awesome. They can cut pennies. They come apart for easy cleaning. They go right in the dishwasher. I especially love the red ones. I like red everything that we have here. So if you have no idea who the heck I am, you've probably seen me on some videos at some point. If you use the Buffalo Rep dashboard, my name's Josh Thayer. I'll be your host this morning. So here's the deal. Most people are probably in zombie mode right now. I'm going to wake you the frig up, okay? I'm going to make sure that by the end of this meeting at 11 o'clock, you are ready to freaking run through a wall with the Vector team, okay? So, oh yeah, Case also said they got a pet named Dewey. He's pretty amazing. Dewey's definitely a cool name. Reminds me of the movie Scream because the brother was named Dewey Cox or whatever it was. So very cool. By the way, I'm not going to see everything in the chat because once I get rolling, like I just get rolling with this PowerPoint. So bear with me if you put something in the chat. Managers, make sure you make sure you recognize it in the chat, okay? But this morning, I definitely want to say welcome to the greatest place on earth. I can't picture a better place for you to be on a Friday morning, ready to just tear the world's head off and just roll than right here. So who's got it better than us? Absolutely, positively, nobody. There's not a better place that I can picture you being. So if you want to get more of us, more of this, make sure you join the conversation on WhatsApp. Brian, please put that link in the chat. bit.ly/join Empire Squad chat. Most of you, I do know, are in the WhatsApp group already, but if you're not, make sure that you join it because I'm putting constant, reminders and stuff like that. We recognize a lot of people on a weekly basis, all that sort of good stuff. So make sure you join the Rep Squad. Want to introduce want to recognize some people quick. Our senior branch manager class, Mr. Michael White, with one of the cutest chocolate lab dogs that you've ever seen, probably in the history of the world. Michael White's awesome. We love having Mike on our branch team. Next, we got senior branch manager, Mr. Yakko. Well, Austin, my right-hand man since many, many moons ago, many years ago. We love having Mr. Yakko on our team. Mr. Rozier and Mr. Hush, Hudson Valley West and Hudson Valley East, brand new district managers. So they started in 2020, just so you know. They ran branches last year, and this year, they're now new district managers. Then I want to introduce our a senior district manager, Mr. Hudson, Syracuse, New York. If you're on the Syracuse team, you know what I'm talking about. And then our two executive district managers of the Empire Division. We got Mr. Kudik with that blue background, that varsity blue, royal blue, vector blue, whatever heck kind of blue it happens to be. One of my favorite colors for sure. And again, my name's Josh there, and I'll be your host this morning. So welcome aboard. If I didn't mention you by name, assistant managers like Casey Glass, welcome aboard. All the sales representatives on the call. And by the way, whose first team meeting is it? Is this anyone's first ever team meeting? Raise your hand if this is your first one. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Just type in the word first. Yeah, right, Brian. Yeah, nice jokes there, man. Nice jokes. Zoe's first. Welcome, Zoe. Welcome, Aiden. Welcome, Jasmine. Welcome, Emily. Welcome, Suey. Welcome, Hannah. Welcome, Aaliyah. Welcome, Madison. Welcome, Ruth. Welcome aboard. We're so excited to have you. Most people on the call know what the team meeting's all about, but if you don't, here's what you can expect. We're going to open up your eyes to the big picture of the business. This is all one big giant team empire, okay? We're going to motivate you to do better in these meetings, but more importantly, make sure you have the tools to do so. We're going to recognize your hard work as well. So this type of meeting where you could really start to get serious about the opportunity and all you can gain. So here's our expectations, okay? There's two ways to go about the team meeting. The first way is not the right way, okay? It's where you don't apply yourself. You don't take any notes. You don't write anything down. You're never, ever, ever on camera. That doesn't work. I want to see your face. I want to see you in that little black box triangle or square thing, rectangle, whatever it is on my screen right there, okay? Nobody wins when you're too cool for school, so remember that. Second way is to dive in. Just become a master of the business. So be ready or not. Here's how you become a master of the business and how you get the most out of the team meeting. Be ready, be on camera for the duration of the meeting. I would definitely be stationary so you could write stuff down, not moving around. Try to eliminate distractions as much as you possibly can and be fully present, just ready to engage so that you and other people can receive the most value from the event. Now, obviously, if you have like a special circumstance and you can't do that for what's one of those things for whatever reason, let your manager know. But I definitely want to thank you in advance for helping us make this an amazing event for everybody involved, because there's 4 things we do every single week. Recognize people, learn and get better, have some fun, and get some more demos booked up. So here's what we're covering today. We're going to go through some opening comments. We're going to recognize the crap out of people. We're going to do a little instructional from Alex Funk on dropping down. We're going to talk a little bit about, the SC2 thing that everybody keeps talking about in the chat. We're going to talk a little bit about what SC2 is all about. We're going to go over how to maximize the 4th of July weekend. do some group discussions. We're going to have our breakout rooms right here today. We're going to wrap things up in Phone Jam. So if you've been working on your Power 5 list, I bet that that's making a huge difference in your life. You have no idea what the Power 5 list is. So where you write down a list of activities that match up with your goals. Then you pick off the most 5 powerful things that you could get done that day that are going to move the needle the furthest in your life, okay? So you make the list at night, read the list in the morning, and then check them off as you go. And then rinse and repeat, okay? Next up is reflection time. So take 30 to 60 seconds right now in your notes. Ask yourself, what happened last week and how do I feel about it? And that can apply to any area of your life. What happened last week? How do I feel about it? I just saw Abigail join us. Hi, Abigail. Are you still in Montana? Give me a thumbs up if you're still way out there. Oh, Abigail all the way out in Montana. It's like 7:30 out there right now. She's a trooper. She's still on the call with us. That's why she sells a ton of Cutco. That's why she's leading the way in Syracuse for sure. So awesome stuff. But what happened last week in your relationships, in your family, in your finances, in your health, in your nutrition, in your work? What happened last week? How do you feel about it? If you never reflect on I'm not saying you gotta like keep looking backwards all the time, but if you never reflect, you can't learn. So you gotta reflect so that you can learn from what you did that was good, what you did that was maybe not so good, okay? Emphasize your strengths, build upon your weaknesses. You never ignore your weaknesses, especially if it's a really, really glaring weakness, okay? So don't ignore them, build upon them, make them better, but obviously emphasize it and have a major focus on your strengths. So what happened last week? How do you feel about it, okay? When it comes to having a great week, you got to prioritize your life. You got to execute on the things that are most important to you. So where can you usually find out where your priorities lie? Look at where your time was spent. Look at where your money was spent. Check someone's bank account and their schedule, and you can usually find where their priorities lie. So when you think back to last week, when you reflect on last week, were the things that you prioritize the things that are serving you the most? When I say serving, I mean like bringing out the best in you, helping you get to those goals that you set out for yourself. If not, then you just have to adjust. What could that look like? Maybe it means working less at that other job that sucks. Maybe it means spending less time with people that don't bring out the best in you ever, and it's a pain in the butt. Maybe it means just cutting certain people off like completely. Who knows? Maybe it means getting more time with people that you don't get very much time with because they're awesome. And you always feel better when you're around those people. Not in like a fake way, like feel good way type thing, but because they truly bring out the best in you. So that's important. Next, talk about 3 keys to having a great week. By the way, the one thing not on here is execution. So you gotta like make these plans, but you gotta execute too, okay? So make a schedule. You gotta have a schedule in there, okay? Set your goals. Make sure your Vector Impact app is updated with your goals, okay? That's super important. And then communicate your plan and your CPO goals to your manager. Let them know what's up, okay? Let them know things are definitely going on. So when was the last time you made a schedule? If you didn't have the week you wanted last week, most of the time it comes from not having a schedule. So next, when it comes to your goals, how much did you stick to your goals, okay? So here's what you can think about it like that. Be rigid in your goals, but flexible in how you get there, okay? Because sometimes your first plan is not always the best plan. Or sometimes something happens that makes you have to call an audible, okay? Like if I'm a football coach, if I'm an offensive coordinator or a quarterback or something, and I'm calling a run up the middle, and they stack like 8-9 people in the box, our run up the middle is probably going to get stuffed, okay? So I got to call an audible at the line of scrimmage, maybe do an outside run, maybe do a play action, maybe just call a pass. And then again, communicate your plan to your managers, okay? So next up, we got some FYI stuff. A lot of events coming up. July, if you like to learn, July is jam-packed with stuff going on. I got a visual calendar that I will put in the WhatsApp after the team meeting here today. It's on the next slide, okay? But we have some really awesome stuff coming up. We got the division meeting on next Tuesday coming up, 11 o'clock to 2:30. Make sure that you're there for the division meeting. You are not going to want to miss that. I'm going to go up through the agenda for the division meeting and the next thing, okay? Next Friday, we got our team meeting, as always. On the 9th, we got this thing called the mother of all phone jams. So if you think our phone jams on team meetings are sweet, you haven't seen anything until the 9th and the 10th. The mother of all phone jams 1 and 2. Our division manager buys thousands of dollars worth of Cutco and gift cards and prizes and all that stuff. And he's just like Oprah, where it's like, you get a this, you get a this, you get a this. So just for doing your job and setting up demos, you're going to be winning tons of prizes for the mother of all phone jams 1 and 2. Some people are actually going to be going into their physical office location with their manager for phone jams because they like that better. Some people are going to be with us here on Zoom during the mother of all phone jams. Either way, we're going to be booking up a ton of demos, getting ready for the SC2 push weeks, because those start on the 11th. So if you want more time in Case, Brian, myself, Mike White, Austin, the managers, everybody, we're going to be holding our Champions Clubs Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 10, 4 days a week. And then Friday, obviously, we have our team meetings. But Monday through Thursday, we're going to be having Champions Clubs to help you gain your skills, make more money, increase your resume, and increase the things that you're learning right here in Vector Marketing. On the Friday before the team meeting, if you want to hop on a region phone jam, they also have a region phone jam going on from 8 to 9:30. If you still want to do a Champions Club type exercise, the Midwest region will be doing that on the Fridays, the 15th, 22nd, and the 29th, okay? Then August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, holy shnikes, guys, Kalahari Resort in Ohio, August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, we have an overnight conference you can get invited to. I think if you're not new, half the team's already signed up for it, like on the call. So that's definitely exciting. If you're brand new and you have no idea what the heck SC2 is, we'll talk a little bit about it today, but for time reasons, we don't have time to go through the whole thing. We're going to talk a lot about SC2 on the 5th during the division meeting. So let's check out what we're going over coming up at the SC2 Prep Division meeting this upcoming Tuesday. So Mr. Hammond, our division manager, is going to be giving some opening comments. I'm going to be recognizing some people. Mr. Mastermark is going to be emceeing this thing. Case Koenig is going to be going over how to have monster push weeks. Case Koenig, how much Cutco have you sold in your career? Individually, not counting office.
970,000. So it's about 30K away from $1 million.
Okay, so who thinks it'd be valuable to learn from someone that sold almost $1 million one customer at a time? Anyone think it'd be valuable to learn from that guy? Yeah, get to the freaking division meeting next Tuesday. Don't miss it. Mr. Hudson is very good with money. He's going to be talking about financial fitness in your 20s, like how to save 100 grand plus in your 20s. Brian, when did you hit your first 100 grand? What age were you?
I think when I was 23.
23. Who would like to have $100,000 saved by the time they're 23? Anyone? Okay, yeah, but maybe it wouldn't be too shabby, right? Okay, then Bryson LaBerge, Silver Cup winner in our division last year, #1 in the entire nation, is going to be going over phoning systems and tips. Then Mr. Hammond's going to be talking about SC2 and the Leadership Academy. Yours truly will be wrapping things up, motivating, inspiring, encouraging you, getting you ready to freaking roll. And then we got some big push week tips coming up from Mr. Hammond right after that as well, okay? Here's a couple cool things going on in the region, just so you know. If you get on the newsletter this week between June 28th and July 5th, you get into a drawing to win a 50% of the Bahamas trip. So just selling $1,000 plus this week right here gets you into a drawing to win half of the Bahamas trip, okay? Not too shabby. Grand Day credits. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but if you have a Grand Day, you can get credit towards your SC2 push. So big things happening. So let's do some recognition. Last week, guys, we sold $3,898,868 worth of Cutco. That is monstrous, and we're super pumped for that. So the top 20 reps for top 20 college students in the United States last week sold between 7,100 and 17,000. The top Cutco sales professionals sold between 11,000 and John Squire sold $60,000 on the dot. Remember, CSPs make 50%. That means he made $30,000 in just 1 week. Crazy. So if you're into winning, if you're into like really big competitions and stuff, All-American Scholarship, it usually takes to be in the top 50, usually takes between 40 and 50,000 CPO. Case sold right around $40,000 at his first summer as a sales rep when he won a scholarship. Mike White sold like $43,000 when he won a scholarship a couple years ago. So right now, number one in the nation for college students is 45,000. That's Ash Saeed, 45 grand. Number 25 is at 19,000. So if you're not there, don't worry. Some catching up to do. There it is. There it is. You got it. Case Kudik, get it. So love it. Last week's newsletter. Who's on the newsletter? Savvy from the North Buffalo squad. So pumped. Savvy's first newsletter. Many, many, many more to come. You rock. Thanks for being awesome. Emma Wilson, 1251, getting on the newsletter. We love that. Renee Johnson, CSP, getting on the newsletter. Katie Armstrong from Syracuse as well, getting on the newsletter. We love that. Casey Glass, 2409, getting on the newsletter. We definitely love that. Mr. Kunik, 4409, getting on the newsletter this past week. Marissa Gibbons, 5644, getting on the newsletter this past week. So great job to all of you. Remember, it only takes $1,000 to get on the newsletter. So what can you do to make sure you hit $1,000 this week? Because you can win a drawing to the Bahamas. Not too shabby. Okay, number one new sales representative of the week. This is the last time Casey Glass is actually eligible for this distinction, because he is no longer considered new business anymore because he hit his $30,000 sales promotion. So Casey, you took many of these number ones over the course of the last 2.5 months. We're super proud of you. You're kicking some tail. Way to be awesome. You rock, dude. So want to recognize the Syracuse team for being the number 9 district in the region this past week, the Erie squad for being number 4 district, North Buffalo squad for being number 3. So let's see. We were $2,600 away from being number 1. So Buffalo squad, we got to be number 1 this week. So we're counting on everybody to really step. We got some people on vacation this week, so we got to really step up in a big way. But next up, I just talked about it, but I want to recognize him. So he originally got recognized for Dirty 30 for hitting 30%. Now Casey gets recognized for hitting Dirty 30 at $30,000 in sales. So he's been cranking. He's been the most consistent person in the region this year, most consistent person in the Empire division for all new representatives, without question. We're super proud of you, Casey. Keep up the good work. You're doing great. Definitely keep it up. You rock. So make sure you give it up for Casey in the chat for hitting his $30,000 promotion. So next up, we got some manager hot news. We're just going to go right along the I-90, okay? So we'll start with Erie, then I'll do Buffalo, and then we'll go to the Syracuse district, and then we'll be good from there. So Mr. Kunik, you want to go first for us, and then I'll handle Buffalo?
I can do that, Josh. Can you hear me? Okay. So far for the week, just for the past like 24 to 48 hours, we have Catherine Hawkins with a few orders on the board, selling a few sets. Missy Cerrone, Nick Cummings, Nicholas Corlew, and Sarah Gard selling a pair of super shears recently, all on the board this week. And then for last week, I'll quickly pull this up. We have Aiden getting on the board with a sale, Shantella with a set sale, Corey Rockwell, Danny Robitz. Again, Catherine Hawkins, always on the board consistently. I don't think she's ever not placed some orders since she started here back in May. Mick selling over $600 some to it's a custom set, a bunch of random stuff to a lady that already had a Homemaker +8. 671 CPO to a lady that already had a Homemaker +8. Nick Cummings 734 leading the way, and Sarah at 252. Tori with a few sales on Miracle Monday. Tori has a super busy schedule, but just lines up a big Monday as her main Cutco day, where she'll do a bunch of demos on just that main day. So that's just a few people on the Erie team. And then thanking Corinne for helping out in the office and helping us manage some of our team members as we continue to grow and get ready for a big July.
Erie team definitely explodes in the month of July, that's for sure. So good stuff from Erie. From the Buffalo squad, some I already mentioned, but I want to mention real quick. Savvy, super proud of you. First promotion, first Homemaker. That's awesome. Casey, $30,000 promotion. Amazing. Want to recognize Hannah, just finishing up her training, did her first demos last night, making her first sale. Awesome job, Hannah. Zoe just finished up training, had her first demos last night, made her first 2 sales. Great job, Zoe. She's going for a big, fast start. I know that. She booked up like 13 demos just in training alone. So she's got big things ahead of her for sure. Want to recognize Jasmine, just finished up her training yesterday, already on the team meeting. Sui just finished up her training yesterday, already on the team meeting. Matt got on the board last week with sales. Matt Curtis around graduating from high school, all the crazy stuff that is entailed with that. And I want to recognize Amber, just finishing up her training yesterday as well and being on the team meeting. So super excited for the Buffalo district. Number 3 last week, but we're going for number 1 this week right here. So good stuff. Syracuse, you're up.
All right. Yes. So let's see here. We got we'll start with last week, then we'll go this week. So we have a lot of people getting their first sales on the board from last week. I know Justin, Ruth, Parker all getting their first sales on the board. I myself had an order from last week, which is exciting, and actually I also had one this week as well. So even your DM sells some Cutco as well. So also we got Frank, Emily, great job to you hitting your first promotion this past few days. Exciting. Katie leading the Syracuse team with new representatives, hitting her first promotion, $1,800 last week, and then Renee at $1,600. And come to find out, the people with the most orders usually tend to sell the most as well. And then this week, quick shout out to by the way, this week we're almost tied with last week already, but this week real quick, great shout out to Ruth, by the way, who Ruth has gone through some adversity the past few days, but has found a way and has had a couple of sales coming her way as well. So super proud of you, Ruth. We also have Parker and Katie on the board, and then also a quick shout out to Michaela, who just finished up training yesterday, had her first sale on the board. I know Tatiana and Madison, their first sales are right on the board as well. And then at the moment, let's see, we got Zahara, Abigail, and Emily all pretty close to being number 1 rep for the week. All pretty close right together, but obviously there's a lot more days left in the week. But I'm excited to see who will take number 1 this week.
All right, good stuff from Syracuse. Big things happening in the central New York area for sure. So how close are you to your next promotion? Whether it's 1,000, 3,000, 6,000, 10,000. If you're already above 10,000, like Catherine, Case, all you guys, okay, how quickly can you get to 20K? What about 30K? What about 50K? How about $150,000 in sales? Big things are happening all across the board. We're super excited for it. You know what else is coming up? TLA, the Leadership Academy class of 2022-2023. There's going to be some summer acceptances happening by the end of this summer. So Chris is going to go into more details of this coming up on Tuesday, Mr. Hammond, but learning about managing your time, managing your money, managing your energy, managing other people, managing, most importantly, the CEO of your life is not your mom. The CEO of your life is not your dad. The CEO of your life is you. Okay. So the only one person that is 100% guaranteed to be a constant denominator in your life forever until the day you die is you. You're the CEO. Act like it. Okay. Hire, fire, promote accordingly in your life. So what could the TLA track, or if you're in college right now, what could the Cutco Through College track look like for you? Big things can definitely happen. You could become an assistant manager intern with our company as well. Get some management experience, get your foot in the door, automatically qualify for a TLA interview, and you're the first selection to being paid assistant managers for sure. We're always looking for more great help. So could that be you? I think it definitely could. So if you're interested in some leadership opportunities within your office, I highly recommend that you reach out to your man. I don't care if you started yesterday. I don't care if you finished training yesterday. If leadership is something you're passionate about, coaching people, teaching people, helping people, stuff like that, we have opportunities for you. And even if like the position's not there, we've created positions for people in the past. That is for sure. So if you're interested in leadership, helping people, all that, make sure you let your manager know. Even if you just graduated like yesterday from high school or something, like let them know. Okay. So next up, we got to get ourselves into learning mode now. Okay. Some pre-instructional questions, 60 seconds of pre-instructional questions. And then we're going to go through some dropping down lessons. Okay. So number one, what is your average order size? What's your closing ratio? If you just started like yesterday or something and you haven't like your first demos are today, just assume 60 to 70% and like $300 to $400. That's average. Okay. So next, why is it important to drop down? Like most people are not going to get the homemaker like 10 to 20%. So why is it so important to continue dropping down during the demonstration? Okay. What if you increased your average order like $50? What would that do to your average order size? What would that do to your average income per sale, per demo? Or what if you increased your closing ratio 10%? Like you went from 65 to 75 or 70 to 80%. What would that do to your income? What would that do to your promotional levels? What would that do to your how quickly you advance? And what, like, here's the tough question, okay? Because everybody has this to some degree. Everybody. Even someone that's super high in sales like Case or Casey or myself or Brian or Austin or whoever. What are you doing right now that's holding you back from achieving even better results? Here's a tip. It's probably up here. Mindset, mindset, mindset. Okay. So we're going to go over some great tips right now. Highly recommend get your pens, get your papers out, like, or whatever you do, whatever you're taking notes on your computer, like whatever it is, you definitely are going to want to take a ton of notes on this right here. So some dropping down lessons from a Cutco superstar. He's currently #1 in the nation in his category, just so you know, and leading the pilot office last year. This guy was #1 in the nation, Alex Funk. So I don't know what the heck that is. That's yeah. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and let's do it.
All right. Hello, beautiful people. If you're wondering if I always wear the same shirt every day, I have 12 of them. Okay. But here's what I have, dropping down. And this is something I've never done on my YouTube. And I think it's the most important skill. Something that I want everybody to understand right away is having an enormous average order actually isn't the best thing in the world. Because a lot of times what can happen when somebody has a giant average order is their closing percentage is low. And what I mean by this is if somebody sells a homemaker, nothing, a Siggy, nothing, well, their average order is about $1,200, but they're 2 for 10 and their total sales is $3,000. When someone over here sells a homemaker, like list, starter set, like list, trimmer, homemaker, well, they're 10 for 10. They've sold about $5,000 to Cutco. Who would you rather be? I'd rather be the person making all the sales. And so being able to drop down is such a skill and such an art that when your closing percentage is 80, 90, 95%, the job gets really, really fun. And when you close deals, it's also easier to get recs. And everything is easier when you're making more sales, right? I think we could all agree. So the art of that is dropping down. I want you to think big, always try to close big, have a big mindset, but understand that more people don't buy sets than do, unless you're a goat in this business, okay? If you're newer, 1 out of 10 will buy a homemaker. So you have to drop down in a way that is effective and a way that serves the customer. So there's 3 parts of this. The first part of dropping down like a pro is asking great questions, okay? So asking great questions, what does that mean? It means that after the galley set, you ask this, hey, would you ever consider adding Cutco to your collection? That is such an open question. And the answer is only yes. Would you ever consider, not would you today, would you ever consider it, of adding Cutco, adding it to your collection that you already have? Would you ever consider adding Cutco to your collection? Yeah, that's a Brandon Brown question. I didn't think of that. Brandon Brown, look him up on Vector Connect. Would you ever consider adding Cutco to your collection? Yeah, okay, cool. Well, if you got Cutco then, would you get it in a block set or would you get it in a piece package? Now, whatever their answer is, it tells you what to do next. If they say a block set, show them the starter sets in a block set, show the essentials and show the studio. But if they say a piece package, perfect. Then you can show the starter sets that come in trays and you can just call them piece packages and say, perfect, Cutco came out with a piece package just for you. So ask them, block or no block, because what it does is it limits your options to show them and you become more of a solution finder. Here's another great question. When you transition to the like list, say, hey, if you could wave a magic wand and own anything Cutco, what would you get? You could wave a magic wand and own anything Cutco, what would you get? Okay, another Brandon Brown. And what does it do? It opens the customer. Okay, well, if I could get anything, I'd get an ultimate set. Boom, now you know that they would actually get the ultimate set. Go handle those objections. What they probably say is they're going to pick out a couple things, and boom, you can start making a list. Let's say that they want table knives. This is how you make a list bigger. This is the last thing I'll say about asking great questions. Ask big questions. So if someone says, oh, we'd get some table knives, here's how you would phrase this. Is 8 table knives enough? Or could you see yourself having guests over sometimes and needing like 16, 32, 64, 128? Oh, 8's enough. Oh, you actually would only want 4? Okay, great. Notice how 4 seems so small now. Instead of, yeah, they come in a set of 4 or 8. Oh, 4 is too many, right? It's a whole different way to look at it. Okay, next thing, number 2 is listen and understand. So number 1 is ask great questions. Number 2 is listen and understand. And understand is the key part of that. Active listening is a skill. I want you to look up on YouTube. Look up active listening. What is it? How do I do it? When someone says something, your response is, what I'm hearing is blank. Is that right? Clarifying what you heard, because a lot of times what will happen is the customer will say, well, no, actually this, and they'll start to actually give you the objection, because in a sales situation, the customer will always have their guard up unless you're really good at rapport or unless it's a direct family member. And so the first objection is usually always a smoke screen. And so when you clarify it, okay, what I'm hearing is you need to talk to your husband first. Is that right? And they'll say, yes, because blank. And boom, you're starting to actually get the objection out of the customer. So active listening, what I'm hearing is blank. Is that right? Am I hearing you right when you say that? This unravels the true problem. It starts with rapport, especially cooking rapport. Watch one of my other YouTube videos, how to close 90% of the time on great cooking rapport. It's one of my most viewed ones, if you check it out. Share it while you're at it. Like it. Like this one right now. Subscribe. Okay. But number 2, the last point of this is listen with the intention to learn. Don't just listen with the intention to object or handle the objection. You first have to listen with the intention to learn and uncover a problem. And then as the salesperson, your job is actually being a solution finder. Okay. Number 3, the third and final point is always handle the objection with love and care. Handling an objection is not you versus the customer. Handling it is like handling a child, right? With love and tender care, tender love and care, TLC, baby. But when you get an objection, do not ask for the order again until you've actually handled it. And what it means by handling it is the customer feels comfortable. If the customer gives you an objection and you don't take the time to listen, actively repeat back what you heard, and then actually handle that objection, their answer will still be no. A mistake I hear people make a lot of times is the customer will say, well, it's too expensive. It just costs too much. And then what will they do? They'll offer a bunch of free stuff. So great, you're giving a bunch of free stuff. It doesn't change the price, which doesn't change the objection. It also doesn't change the feeling that the customer has, because now they just feel sold to even more. So you have to handle the objection first, and you have to handle it with love and care. So what does that mean? How do you do that? You appreciate their feelings and you honor their concerns. So some common objections would be, I need to talk to my husband. Okay, great. Sounds like you need to talk to your husband. Is that right? Yes, I do. Okay, great. What exactly is it that you need to talk to him about? They'll start to tell you, oh, it's the price is this, or the price of that, or it's, I think it's just too many pieces. We won't use them all. You're getting the true objection. Okay. So active listen and actually handle it. So let's say they say, we just need to think about it. Okay. Sounds like you need to think about it. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, what is it you need to think about? Well, we just need to think about if it's worth it. Okay, cool. So it sounds like you need to think about if it's worth it. If it's worth it as far as what? Well, if we just use it all. Okay. So it sounds like your concern is more so that you don't know if you'd use all the pieces. Is that right? Well, no, we know we'd use them all, but we just don't know if we'd, need them all right now. Oh, okay, got it. So you think you'd use all the pieces. Well, let me ask you this, Mrs. Jones. If you think you'd use all the pieces, do you like Cutco? Yeah, we like it. Okay. Could you fit $1,999 in the budget today? No, we couldn't do that. Okay. Could you fit $429? Well, we can fit $429. Okay. Well, so it sounds like you like it. You fit in the budget. You'd use all the pieces. Why don't you just go ahead and try it out, right? So it's handling the objection more and asking questions. Here's the last little key. It's called the 2-second rule. When the customer gives you an objection or gives you anything at all, do not open your mouth until you've counted to 2 in your head. This is the 2-second rule. And what it does is it makes you bite your tongue, because a lot of times as humans, we're trying to come up with the response for someone. This is an everyday life thing. We're trying to come up with a response before we actually internalize what the person said. So a lot of times we're not even hearing people. We're just speaking. And we're waiting our turn instead of listening to what they're saying. 2-second rule, if you use it in a demo, you'll start to hear objections more. What can also happen is you start waiting 2 seconds to reply, and the customer will go like this. Yeah, well, I just need to think about it, because I just don't know if we'll use all the pieces. We use them all, but what'll happen is they'll just start spinning. Spinning and spiraling is a really good thing when your customer does that, because what it's doing is it's allowing them to go through the buying process. And a lot of times as salespeople, we don't allow our customers the space to do that. This is all so important with dropping down. Number 1, ask great questions. Number 2, listen and understand. And number 3, always handle the objection with love and care. And when you do this through a drop down process, and you have great cooking rapport, you can start to find solutions for the customers. And that's what dropping down is. It's finding solutions. So I take a lot of pride in that. My average order is not $1,500, but my closing ratio is like 90%. Why? Is because I take the time to find the best thing for each customer. It's like playing a game. When the customer says no to the homemaker in the galley set, it's game on. How can I best serve this person in this moment? And that's something I take a lot of pride in. You have to listen and find the solution for them. The number one thing to understand is that their life is better with Cutco. And you can only find the solution with them if you allow yourself to listen to them talk. That's the key to dropping down. Like, subscribe, watch for more. We'll see you next time.
Holy crap. Give me a thumbs up if you just got some banging tips on that. Anyone get some really good stuff? Yeah, me too. That was good. So, Brian, if you could drop in the chat and the Empire Division WhatsApp, if you could drop the link to that video, because if I were them, I would want to watch that like 74 different times. Like I want to go to sleep to that video. Okay. I want to like snuggle up to that video in those tips right there, because that was some good stuff. Okay. That was awesome. So thank you, Mr. Funk. That was fantastic. Also, I highly recommend subscribing to Alex Funk on YouTube for sure, because he's always posting bangers on there for sure. He's always posting really good stuff. So highly recommend that one right there. Okay. So definitely really good. So next up, want to talk a little bit about SC2 real quick and what it's all about, or at least what in-person conferences in Vector are really like. Okay. And then we're going to talk a little bit about 4th of July and then do our breakout rooms, then wrap things up with the phone jam. So let's do it. What's a conference like?
I'm the greatest thing that ever lived, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail.
I'm Murder the Rock, Angela Stone. Who's having a good time?
Absolutely had a blast at this event. It goes unmatched with any other in the company.
There's a lot of good energy in the room, a lot of really good people in the room.
You're not going to miss out on it. I drove 6.5 hours to get here, and it's definitely worth the drive.
I've never been with a group of people who are more driven and energetic about the same goal.
This is one of those conferences that is going to affect the rest of your life no matter where you go, no matter what you do, because a lot of the skills that you need to be successful in what you want to be, you're going to learn those skills here.
And they're also going to make more money, which if you're in college, that definitely doesn't suck. SC2 isn't just a conference about selling Cutco. SC2 is a conference about being the best person that you can be and being the person that you want to be.
It's the perfect opportunity for you to ask as many questions as you want and grow in as many ways as you want for not just Cutco, but for any aspect in life.
I sold 16,485 at Half Baby.
I love the event. For me, I love seeing the new reps getting better.
What did you sell? Listen closely. This should inspire you. Your first summer.
$527.
I'll tell you, what was the simple reason why you do that?
I didn't go to any conferences.
My favorite part, Push Awards. It's great to get up on stage. You work your butt off for 2.5 weeks, and you finally get to show off to the entire region, not just your division, all the hard work you put in. Last year, I sold 10K the last 2 days to hit my goal. This year, pulling out 2K in the last 2 hours. It's an unbelievable event. The push, it always pays off if you follow the process.
12,850 CPOs. I sold 15,092.
I sold 17,738 CPO.
It just takes determination. It takes being confident, believing in yourself, telling yourself that you can do it.
I sold 12,917.
And just watching him go from not being able to believe in himself to being the most confident person in the OPP. I love it.
Now, Lucky, you didn't have a car when you first
Is that right?
That's correct. How did you get to your appointments? I walked. I only used the car twice during the SC2 push. I walked on the highway, crazy enough, because I wasn't going to let anyone or anything stop me towards my goal.
Being vector trained means that when you face a tough situation or adversity, you're able to push through it.
I sold 26,727 CPO. I actually went out of town for 7 days to push.
Being vector trained is very important to me. I feel like I've gained a lot of skills and experience that I'm going to use the rest of my life, not just this summer, but at school this year and for years to come.
The record, if anybody is wondering, is 34,846. 34,000 and 34,900. My name's Colin Kennebeck. I sold 40,847 for the push. I'm a dirty 630!
It's very important to me to be vector trained because it's top-level sales experience that I'll have with me the rest of my life. If you want to do better in the company, definitely come, and it's just awesome. So if you want to have a great time, for sure, come to this.
Just do it. You'd have to be crazy not to think that you're going to get something out of this conference.
We'll see you at SC2. Mr. Hammond's going to go over that a little bit more next Tuesday. If you're at SC1, like Casey, Corinne, Matt, Abigail, go ahead, let people know what was your favorite part about SC1 or favorite couple parts. Let people know in the chat, okay? Because that's our first in-person conference since 2019. So a few weeks ago in June. So we were super pumped for that. Next up, I want to talk about the 4th of July. You guys have a huge opportunity on the 4th of July, okay? So why is 4th of July week for our company huge, humongous every single year? Well, part of it is people are in really great moods, okay? Certainly people are going to be cooking a lot on that day. Kids are typically out of school since everyone just graduated last week. So people definitely like that. People love USA made stuff, all the barbecues going on. The company has a ton of incentive prizes, things like that. And the SC2 push is coming. I did a quick Google search on 4th of July sales 2022. That number is 889 million in 0.5 seconds. Okay. So I got 889 million hits in 0.5 seconds. That's crazy. Some other fun facts. 47.9 million people are going to be traveling for the 4th of July, either by car or by bus, train, cruise. Now that means there's about 330 million people in the United States. So let's just say 50 out of basically about 1 in 6 people are going to be traveling elsewhere, out of the area or so for the 4th of July. So that means that 5 out of every 6 people are still going to be in their area, able to do demos at some point on the 4th of July. Let me tell you a quick story. When I was a brand new rep in 2007, I wanted to do 1 or 2 demos in the morning on the 4th of July because I had plans for the afternoon. But I still wanted to make money because I still wanted to freaking crush it. I had big goals. My whys were pretty strong. Okay. I called my manager in the morning, Darren. He talked to me. We were on PDI for a few minutes. And I'm like, yeah, he asked me what was my goal for the day. I said, I want to do at least 1 or 2 demonstrations today. So he's like, all right, perfect. Who are you going to call? And I'm like, I don't know. It's a good question. And he's like, who's someone on your chicken list still that you've been on the job for about a month now, a month and 2 days is how long I'd been on the job. Who's someone on your chicken list you still keep wimping out on? Who's someone that you look at on your names list every single day and you skip over them on your names list every single day? Because by the way, we didn't have the Vector Impact app back then, so everything was handwritten. I was like, Tina and Danny Mullen. He's like, what do you think you should do? I'm like, probably call Tina and Danny Mullen. So get off PDI and him, give them a call, went through my phone approach, and they're like, yeah, we're not doing anything right now. Why don't you just come over right now? I'm like, okay. And then I like showered really quick, went down there like a half hour, 45 minutes later. And then within about 25 minutes, I sold them an ultimate set. All they needed for free was 2 entertainer packs. That's all it took. 2 entertainer packs. So it was like a 2,000 CPO order back then. And let's see, I was at 30% at the time. So I made like $600 in about a half an hour. Was it worth it to call my chicken list? Yeah, absolutely. So many of my biggest sales came to people that I was initially afraid of calling because I was afraid they were going to say no. I was afraid that they might turn me down, or I haven't talked to them in a while. Like whatever dumb thing I created in my head. So I could have had those sales even sooner if I would have just like called them even sooner. So don't let your fear or doubt, whatever it is, don't let that keep you from striking out before you even play the game. Okay. So that's going to be really, really important to understand. Another thing, hold on, is the company has tons of 4th of July sales going on. So I'm not going to go into like the full details on them right here because they're kind of self-explanatory in the, like when you look at the picture. So Brian or Case, if you guys could put all the 4th of July sales, 4th of July weekend sales in the WhatsApp so that everybody has access to them, start using them today, okay? We got the Studio, Essentials, Galley, Homemaker, Signature, Ultimate stuff. We got friends and family deals. We got signature specials, okay? We got ultimate deals, friends and family ultimate, like all sorts of different things. So utilize these to the nth degree this weekend. Today through, I think they actually go through Tuesday. I think they actually go through July 5th. So you're going to want to use the crap out of these. Also today in the WhatsApp group, I'm going to put an extra line that you can add to your phone approach if you're doing like phone time Monday morning, like 4th of July morning, how to really create the urgency to get a same day demonstration with your customers, okay? And technically you could use it for like any day, but especially during holidays, makes it significantly easier, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dive into some breakout rooms in about 30 seconds. So let me turn on the tunes. Give me 60 seconds to get that rolling. So in the breakout rooms, the managers will lead, okay? Managers will lead them. And you're just going to discuss what the top things that you've learned here today. So I want you to take the next 60 seconds, guys, and jot down those 3 questions and what your top answers are to those, okay? So I'll give you 60 seconds for that. About 15 more seconds. We're going to open up the breakout rooms, okay? We got 3 breakout rooms of 8 people going on here. So we're going to be in the breakout room for like 7-8 minutes. So everyone should get at least like a minute of sharing time, okay? So on your mark, get set, hit the magic blue button that's about to pop up on your screen. Magic blue button popping up on your screen. Everybody should have a breakout room. .37 a.m. and I'm ready to freaking rage. Little danger. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and let's have some managers share some top takeaways from theirs. Brian, well, if you go first, then Austin, you go second, and then either Casey Glass or Casey Koenig, you guys will go third. What are some top takeaways from your chat? Brian, you go first.
All right. Yeah, let's see. We got we had a couple people that really liked the reflection of the week. They thought that was a great idea to just reflect what was going well, what wasn't going well. A lot of people liked calling the chicken list. Nothing bad is going to happen from calling the chicken list, so I thought that was cool as well. I'd say this would probably be the biggest topic was dropping down, and whether that was dropping down slower or actually dropping down and going through the pieces, or better handling the customer's questions. It's kind of like a combination of all those three, but dropping down was a big takeaway, and just with that too, asking big questions. So a lot of people gained a lot of valuable stuff from today's lesson.
That's awesome. Good stuff, Brian. Thank you for sharing. Austin, you want to go next?
Yeah, so our biggest takeaways, we definitely love the 2-second rule. We love the point about handling objections with love and care. It's not you versus the customer. You're trying to help them. Asking good questions so it can drop down better, be better solution finders for the customer. And then we also talked a lot about setting goals, sticking to those, reminding ourselves of those daily, and just being more consistent with phoning and demos and things like that.
I like it. That's good. Like, geez, sounds like you guys had some great breakout discussions there. So I'm pumped for these. Awesome. And then either Casey or Case, I don't know which one of you guys, but whichever one.
So I got to run my first breakout room today, so that was pretty cool. A lot of the things that people were talking about was definitely making a lot of the calls on their chicken list. That was one of the biggest things there. And one thing that I stressed to them was that, those could be your ultimate set sales. So definitely get a hold of those people on your chicken list. A lot of people talking about active listening and handling objections a lot better. And, even dropping down. So a lot of great things that were in our breakout rooms. A lot more people talked about building their confidence through using those tips that they learned today too. So
good stuff. So if you hop on Champions Club starting on what is it, 10th, I think it is, 10th or 11th. So if you hop on Champions Club for the SC2 push, we talk about things like active listening. We really like deep dive into it, because it's not just exclusively like selling Cutco tips. It's a lot of different things that we roll into there. And then Case Koenig, I know you wanted to share a couple things about 4th of July. What were your thoughts?
So I'm actually going to share with you what I did around the 4th of July. So pretty much this week back in 2010, and there were some people on my Cutco chicken list. So July 1st, I showed a lady named Beverly Wright. She was just a random lady in my brother's phone. I had met that lady, I think, one time before. Definitely out of my comfort zone. She bought $545. We hooked her up with a studio set. And again, active listening. She always cooked. She was a big baker. And needless to say, instead of the scissors for free, we did a slicer with the studio set and a peeler. So that's how I sold her the Studio Plus 4 set. Mr. Scott Granger. I rode the bus with Amanda Granger. Really, back in the day, she was like, like the cute girl in my grade. So that was a really nervous one of me to call, but I called her mom and dad. I ended up selling a Galley Plus 6 set with 2 hunting knives for free to them. Mrs. Douglas, this is my teacher, 7th grade English teacher. She actually kicked me out of her class once, and I was scared to call her, but I had big goals that summer. And I sold her 2 sets. She bought a set for her daughter and a set for herself. I had to give her a lot of for free, but she needed a housewarming gift for her daughter, and she was blown away by the quality of Cutco. So I sold over $1,000, which was exciting. The 2 people, by the way, on this year, the 2 people I thought would buy the most, my cousin bought a whopping ice cream scoop, and I thought for sure she was going to buy a set. And the guy who owned a business, an ice cream shop, I really thought he would buy something. He bought an ice cream scoop as well. The people I thought would buy the most bought the least. But the people I didn't know, or the people I was concerned of, were the best ones. My aunt, that was an easy one. I just told her we had 4th of July special. She had already bought a set. She called me up and bought another $400 because I called her up and just told her we had deals, because she had bought 2 months prior. And then the other big one on here was one that my mom and dad kept telling me, hey, this guy wants you to give him a call. He heard you're doing Cutco. But I was nervous to call him because I never called somebody that I had no idea was. So I waited and waited and waited. He bought a Homemaker Plus 8 for his wife. He'd always heard Cutco was good. And so that week I made $923. And most of them were either the people I was nervous to call or the people that I just hadn't called yet, but I knew. And the ones I thought were going to buy a bunch actually bought the least that week. But I'm going to share my screen real quick here. If I can, Josh, just so people can see what a first summer can look like as a young person. So these are all from my first summer as a 20-year-old, talking to Deborah's, Donna's, and Karen's. And July 1st, July 9th. So this is actually my July 9th paycheck, the 923. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's only 7 sales to make 900 some bucks. So I probably did less than 15 hours of work that week to make 900 some bucks, but I did call people. That's the biggest difference. So I just wanted to share that. Again, these were all from my first summer and what's possible. Okay. But you can take back over, Josh. And I just wanted to share, calling chicken list is a real thing.
Yeah, sure is. Thanks for sharing. By the way, raise your hand if you'd be really excited to make paychecks like that the rest of this summer. Anyone? Yeah, of course you would. So if you put in the work, the results are going to come. Remove your emotion from the results, and even better things are going to come. So I think that's really important for everybody to understand. And most of the time, we attach emotion to like whether or not this chicken list person is going to like us. Like, stop caring about stuff like that, okay? Develop some inner confidence in yourself, okay? So let's talk about, Buffalo Rep Dashboard. Make sure you're using it. Tons of resources on there, okay? Win. What's important now? What should you be focusing on? As usual, the magic formula: make more calls. You're going to do more demos. You're going to make more money. If you combine that and you have a strong purpose, your why, you're going to be an unstoppable representative. But how do you make more calls? You got to get over what you're telling yourself about whatever chickenless person or this person or that person, whatever thing that it happens to be. So wrapping things up, I got a super quick video from Tim Grover. He trained Kobe Bryant. He trained Michael Jordan. He trained Dwayne Wade and a ton of other ultimate elite athletes. So this one's sweet. It's short, but it's sweet. It's about fear and doubt. Okay, check this out.
You're overanalyzing. You know what to do, you won't do it. Not because you have fear, because you have doubt. We all have fear. Every individual in this room has fear. Everyone talks about conquering your fears. You don't conquer your fears. Fear is an instinct. You control your fears. You're overthinking. You're overanalyzing.
So in the caption, he goes in a little bit more detail. He says, none will define you more than how you react when you stand at the crossroads of fear and doubt. Fear shows up on its own. Doubt has to be invited by you. Fear heightens your awareness. Doubt slows you down and paralyzes your thinking. Fear is about playing to win. Doubt's about playing to not lose. Fear is pressure. Doubt is panic. That's winning. A terrifying leap, a belief in yourself. Winning takes you up in the plane and pushes you out. So all the self-doubt that you have, you got to slowly, carefully, madly, crazily, I don't care, get rid of it. Every time you tell yourself you can't do it, write that down on a sheet of paper and then throw it against the wall. Toss it in the garbage, okay? And start reminding yourself that you can. Get rid of the doubt, okay? Like he said, fear is instinctual. It's an instinct, okay? You'll never be able to fully get rid of that, but you can control it. You can harness it. You can use it to bring out the best in yourself for sure, okay? But doubt, that's like discouragement and doubt, that sort of thing, that will wreak havoc on your life if you let it. It can be incredibly influential. Who has ever had self-doubt? All of us, right? Every single one of you. It never serves you. It never drives you to action. What doubt actually does is it drives you to inaction. Fear can make you move. Like if I'm afraid that this lion is going to eat me, there's no doubt there. The lion's going to freaking eat me if I don't get my butt moving, okay? So the fear can drive you to action, but doubt paralyzes you, okay? So we got to remove the doubt in our life as much as possible. People that discourage you get less time. People that encourage you get more time. Spend your resources, your mental, your physical resources, your time resource. Spend that with people, places, and things that bring out the best in you, that help you overcome your self-doubt. I can promise you, when you make moves in your life that do things like that, and you listen to how we coach you and everything, you cannot do anything but go up in your world. Guaranteed. You could be a small town kid from Governor, New York, and have all those things that you never in your wildest dreams could have predicted having when you're a little kid. It can happen for you. I guarantee it. If I can, Case can, Brian can, Casey can, Austin can, if we can, you definitely can have that success. And you will. Just got to follow the program, have a great attitude about stuff, believe in yourself, and work hard when you work. A lot of that work comes down to phone jam. So how do we always finish off the team meeting? With a phone jam. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the tunes going. We're going to get a phone jam rolling. Every time you get a demo booked, make sure you put it in the chat. I'll keep the Zoom open for longer than 11 o'clock. Okay. I know a couple of you have demos at 11. Make sure you call your manager right before your demo. Okay. And if you can't get calls in right now because you have a demo, I would get 5 after your demo. You know how we say do 5 before, 5 after? I would definitely recommend getting your 5 after the demonstration. So definitely want to thank you all for being awesome during the team meeting. Thank you for all of you that participated in the breakout room. Sounds like you guys had amazing discussions in there. That's usually people's favorite part of the meeting is the breakout room. So send your manager what your top 1 or 2 takeaway, like send a text to your manager. What were your top like 2, maybe 3 takeaways from today's team meeting? Like the thing you want to like that made the most sense, or you were the most happy to hear, or whatever, like that most influenced you, your favorite like 2 or 3 parts of the team meeting. Send that to your manager. Let's get the phone jam rolling. I'm so freaking pumped. Let's do it. Let's get it. Gotta find my music again. Hold on. We will have music in just a second. Found it. Let's do it. Phone Jam Rockathon.